Welcome back to the Taste of Tewksbury cooking show. Today we are pleased to introduce Selectman Jay Kelly. Jay was elected to the Board of Selectmen in 2017 and has served twice as the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. Today Jay is our special cook of the month, and he is going to make a recipe that he's made for many years for his family. He calls it the Bees, and Jay will explain how he gave it that name. So, Jay, you're on now. You tell
All right,
us
very
what
good.
to us.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for allowing me to cook, and this is an honor and a pleasure. So, with that being said, why don't we get started?
Okay.
All right, so today what we're doing is called, we're doing a simple stir fry, and I call it the Bees stir fry. Why do we call it the Bees, Joan? Any idea?
It's something about vegetables.
It is absolutely...
And your kids.
Oh yeah, my kids, all 5 kids, they do enjoy it. That's why we kind of made the menu. But we call it the Bees for a reason. I call it the Bees for a reason. We have bell peppers, boneless chicken, broccoli, bamboo shoots, and baby corn. And we have a couple other ingredients as far as snow peas. We also have water chestnuts, and these are nice fresh bean sprouts. So that's it. So, Joan, why don't we start by preparing the chicken. We're going to get the chicken going, then what we're going to do is going to get the pasta going, and then we'll get the vegetables going.
Okay.
All right, very good. Now, a lot of folks are kind of afraid to cut chicken. I like to cut chicken in four easy ways to cut a chicken breast. I must admit, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to the chicken, because we don't like any fat on our chicken. We like our chicken to be nice and lean. So I'm going to show you very easily a quick way, and we're going to be careful cutting the chicken. And we absolutely use 2 different cutter boards because we don't want cross-contamination when doing the chicken. So Joan, it's going to be very easy. 4 cuts. Remember, people get very nervous. First and foremost, what I'd like to do is start on the outside where you see some of the membrane. So I'm going to go right in, poke it in without cutting myself. And I'm going to go right across and get that fat right out. Again, this is the first cut. You don't like that fat too, right?
No.
Okay. We do waste a little bit of chicken, but like I said, we want it to be all nice and beautiful meat. So I'm going to go right down. So that's the first cut. Remember, how many cuts did I say, Joan?
4.
Very good. All right. Okay, so that's the first cut. Now, the second cut, we're going to start on the top of the chicken, and we're going to go all the way in. So I'm going to do a little cut here. And Joan, what I'm going to do is lift it up, and we're going to cut this fat off. Again, we're going to cut the fat right off. I know it's a little bit of waste, but like I said, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to the chicken. And then we're just going to lift it up, and we're going to get right in there, and it should come off like butter in a couple of seconds.
Do you think it cuts easier if it's a little bit frozen or not?
Yeah, it does, absolutely, absolutely, since this is fresh. So that's the second cut. How many cuts did I say? 4. So now there's always a little white membrane that goes in, and again, I'm a little bit picky, so what I want to do is make the third cut. So what I do is I cut up from the short side. So this is a nice meaty breast, so what I'm going to do is cut up from the little side. So I'm going to stop my cut, and again, just let the chicken almost drop. So now, this is the first piece, and as you can see, Joan, absolutely unequivocally no fat. We like that. We don't like the fat.
No, we don't like fat.
And the fourth cut would be, remember I mentioned that white, what do you call it, like white membrane or whatever? We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to be done. So I'm going to cut right through. And I'm going to cut up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. And as you can see now, we have 2 beautiful pieces of chicken, and we have no fat. So now what I'm going to do is just cut this chicken in very, very thin slices so it cuts up quickly. So now it's just a matter of just really small, so it cuts up it cooks very quickly in the pan. Very thin. I might cut it again. Nice and small and no fat. Now I do have some folks, like I said, I'm picky about the chicken. I do have some folks that typically don't clean it as much, and that's okay too. So just a few, and this is 2 pounds of chicken, by the way, 2 pounds of chicken.
How many people should 2 pounds serve?
This is going to serve a lot. I have a family of 5 kids and a lovely wife, so I cook in a boatload and typically stays good for anywhere between 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. So that's okay. So what we want to do now is we want to take this chicken that we cut and we put that in the deep frying pan.
Yes, and I need to get the teriyaki sauce.
Okay,
right?
very good. what we're gonna
Okay.
do is use half of the teriyaki sauce. So we can
Okay.
put that on high. And we're gonna use half of the teriyaki sauce. Be generous, be generous. So now some folks actually cook the chicken in oil. This is where I kind of deviate a little bit. I like to cook the chicken in teriyaki sauce just to give it more flavor. All right, and I'm gonna do the final piece of the chicken. I'm gonna clean the chicken up, Joe, in this final piece here. So again, start right at the top. Nobody likes the fat. So 3 pans, we use a typical deep, I call it a deep frying pan, a skillet, and obviously a boiled pan, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all the chicken stir fried on top of a bed of, what we're using today is just basically pasta or spiral noodles, that's all. And some folks always say, do you cook stir fry with a wok? Whether you have a deep frying pan, whether you have, so I call it a deep frying pan and a skillet. I don't have a particular wok, you don't need a wok, but some folks do use the wok because it's got that deeper set as a pan.
Is there any advantage to using a wok?
I don't think so. If you have one, that's great. If not, no big deal. You can cook it either way. All right, almost here with the chicken. You can see 2 pounds of chicken is a lot of meat, a lot of chicken.
Yeah, and a lot of work for what you're doing to it too. Do you want me to start the pasta now?
Yeah, is the water boiling?
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Okay.
yeah. And so what we're gonna do is cook 2 12-ounce bags of pasta. And again, usually what we do is cook the pasta, and then we're gonna put the pasta as the bed in the serving dish, and then we're gonna put the vegetables and the stir fry on top of that. Okay, what we're gonna do now, Jonas, why don't we add the pasta? I think the water's boiling, correct?
Not yet, it kind of slowed down a little
So what
bit.
we're gonna do, let me grab the chicken, and we're gonna toss the chicken in the
Okay.
teriyaki sauce.
All right. This is really boiling to
That's
beat the
okay.
band, okay?
And we're gonna get right in. Come on. Okay, perfect. Okay, and while you just get the chicken going, I'm just gonna get cleaned up from the chicken quickly. And that chicken takes anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. It should take, because again, we cut it very, just in bite size, so it shouldn't take long at all to get the chicken going. Already looks good, right?
Yes, it does. Let me put this up higher.
Yeah, we'll put that one on high. We'll cook very quick. And how we do it on the pasta side of the fence.
Yeah, what's going on with that? It was boiling like,
Okay, there we go. And we're gonna get the pasta. Again, we're using the, actually gluten-free today. Gluten-free pasta, just spiral pastas, and that's gonna get cooking.
now Jay, also you can serve this on rice.
100%.
Yeah.
Folks do rice, broad egg noodles, and today we're just switching it up with pasta, just a spiral pasta. And you can see that chicken's not gonna take long, in that particular pan. And as far as the noodles, I think we put 10 quarts of water in the noodles, and what we're gonna do is cook that anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes when she gets going again. And that's okay to leave that on high, and that way the chicken will brown up nice.
All right. Here, we're ready to go. The water is boiling, so we have the noodles here.
How do you like it, Joan, be honest, how do you like your noodles? Do you like them mushy or al dente?
In between.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Perfect. Maybe we'll put that the cover on right till a boil after that, and we'll be in good shape.
okay.
And if you don't mind, I'm gonna come in here and you
Go
can
ahead,
see.
please. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't wanna get the camera, but you can see it doesn't take long for the chicken to brown. Like I said, 3 to 5 minutes, we're typically good on high heat. And notice, some folks use oil to cook the chicken, and I simply use teriyaki sauce to give it that much more oomph, for that much more flavor. Because what we're gonna do is very shortly, we're gonna prepare the vegetables in oil as opposed to teriyaki. So yeah, you can see the chicken, she's almost there.
Jay, and the reason why you use the different vegetables, I believe, is because each of your children likes different vegetables.
Well, I know which chicken is gonna pick the broccoli out. I have a son, he likes the bamboo shoots. So you can see, after you make a stir fry, you can see where the vegetables disappear when who eats it. So, and again, it stays in the fridge, in whether you use rice, noodles, or whatever, very simple, very easy meal to prepare. And that's why I always call it the 7 Bs. You get the broccoli, you get all those things that start with Bs. You got the bell peppers, the boneless chicken, the broccoli, the bamboo shoots, and the baby carrots.
Yeah.
So hence the name. So that's going very nicely. So why don't we just set a time for about 15 minutes? So right now, so we're probably looking at another 12 minutes on the pasta. We're good. See how it cooks up nicely?
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the vegetables, and then what we'll do at the final side is we'll add the chicken to the vegetables, we'll add the remaining teriyaki sauce, which is a half a bottle, so use a half a bottle for the chicken, then at the end we'll use another half a bottle. So the chicken might cook another 2 to 3 minutes at the end, but everyone you like to get the chicken nice and do, and what we'll do is we'll cook it up, and it's always good to test the chicken. What we'll do is take a piece of chicken out, and we'll give it the old test to make sure it's right on the money.
Looking forward to making this at home.
Very good.
Yeah, but I am going to put garlic in it.
Garlic and ginger, that's what folks always, they love the garlic and love the ginger.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. I grew up in a family, we're very Italian, my family, even though my last name is Kelly. And let's just say my family would eat a lot of garlic. So growing up, me and my 2 brothers would go in the house and kind of get knocked overwhelmed with the garlic smell. So that's why I'm a little bit skittish about the garlic, but I know my entire family, you can never use enough.
Yeah, right.
If it calls for a teaspoon, you might as well use a
put
cup.
extra.
And
I
are you
put
the
extra.
same?
Yeah, I like extra.
Garlic is your
I
favorite?
love
How about ginger? Ginger has
I like ginger too.
Ginger has a certain spice to it, and that's why my kids,
Yeah.
that's a little bit off. And some other folks use mushrooms and onions. That's why stir fry
Ooh,
is
yeah,
totally
it's good.
wide open. So that chicken's almost there. Want to maybe give it a little more stir? She's almost there.
Okay.
See how it cooks up nice with the teriyaki?
Yes, it's beautiful.
We're going to give it probably another minute, and we'll cut a
Now-
couple pieces, and we'll make sure that it's right on the money for
I
serving.
don't know if this is, all right, see how nice it looks?
And what we'll do after is, we're actually gonna swap pans. We'll put the chicken in the back off the heat, and we'll take,
Okay.
then I call that the skillet. Again, we talked about a wok or a skillet, all the same to me. We'll take the chicken, we'll put it in the back, and we're gonna take the skillet, and we're gonna bring it in front, and then we'll start our veggies.
Are we going to shut the stove off while you prepare the vegetables?
Yeah.
How do you tell me?
Yeah, we're gonna shut it off quickly.
Okay.
And what I wanna do is, I'm only gonna prepare 2 vegetables. I wanted to show the audience 2 vegetables. Number 1, we're gonna do the peppers, we'll take a second. And number 2, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to snow peas, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. And those are the only 2 vegetables we'll have to prepare. Then what we'll do is, we'll put the skillet, we'll put 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then we'll start rocking on with the veggies. And we're gonna see, we don't put all the veggies in at once. We're gonna put a certain amount of veggies in, the ones that wanna cook a little bit longer, and then we'll add the other veggies in 2 minutes. You'll see, and there's a purpose there. When I cook stir fry, I don't want it to be like mushy. You know, I kind of want that to be crispy, so that's why we only hit it with high heat for a little bit, that's all. And again, do you like al dente, softer, hotter, and it's all whatever you like.
Right.
Okay, the chicken's almost there, so what we want to do is, I think she's looking very good, so what I'd like to do is, let's take 2 pieces of chicken out, and we'll do a soft cut. And again, what's the goal of the chicken, Joan? It's a pop quiz. We want the chicken to look nice and
Cooked.
nice and cooked, right.
Of course.
Sometimes when you open up, I always say,
Yeah, I'm fussy, so.
well, absolutely, so as am I, so I always say you don't want the chicken to be pink. Let's take a few pieces out, let's make sure it's nice and white, and I think with chicken is good. I can already tell by kind of looking at it that she looks really good. And the reason why you cut it so thin is for that fact, we'll cut nice and those.
Cook it, chicken cooks pretty quick anyway.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
piece is
And if you
beautiful.
overcook it, it gets tough.
Right, and so that piece is beautiful and white, and then let's take a little bigger chunk here. I think she's almost there, we'll cut it quick, and as you can see, beautiful, nice and white, so the chicken is officially done and cooked. And remember, we're gonna put it on the heat, so what we can do now,
I was gonna move
Yep.
this pan out of
and
the
remember,
way.
it's very hot, so let's just
Yeah.
shut this off temporarily. What we're gonna do is move the chicken back,
Watch out, it's hot.
yep, and let's put that there, and what we're gonna do is prepare the vegetables, and maybe give the
Okay.
pasta one more stir, and what
Oh,
we're gonna
did-
do is
yeah,
prepare the
okay.
vegetables, and we'll get those vegetables in that skillet in no time. All right, Joan, now what we're gonna do is let's prepare the vegetables to get those on heat. So here we go. I mentioned about the snow peas. I'm a little bit fussy when it comes to the snow peas, so I'm gonna show you how we prepare a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm interested in
A
this.
little bit fussy. So what I do is I take a handful out, and I use my nice big handy knife, and what I like to do is kind of straighten them all out with the knife. And the whole point is this is simple. On the very edges, I don't know if the camera can see, on the veggies, almost like a cucumber, on the very edges, they have a little bit of string. So what I like to do is just chop it off. Most folks don't, but I do, I'm a little bit picky. So that's it, and instead of turning it, all I do is turn the cutting board, and I square them up in one swift blow. Perfect, and see, that comes out, and what we do is just take the edges off. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. You don't have to do it, but like I said, I'm a little bit picky. So, that's prepared. Now let's get to the peppers. I'm gonna just dump this out quickly. And we just mentioned, I was looking around for the baby carrots. However, the Easter Bunny stole the carrots, so we don't have carrots. But I do include baby carrots and other in the recipe, but that's okay for
That's
today.
okay, yeah.
So for the peppers, they always have a sticker. I took the sticker off. I wonder how, do you think they put a sticker on every single pepper?
Imagine having that job.
I would not want that job. No, thank you.
No.
And they do that for bananas too. That's weird.
Yeah.
So what we do is you start around the base of the pepper, and it just comes off. And then what I like to do is take a little bit bigger knife, and I'm going to go right through. So this is called the pith. So what I like to do is I'm going to cut the pepper again in 4. So basically watch 4 times. And again, I like to show this because sometimes it's easy to prepare. So here's what I like to do. This is called the pith, or the flesh, the white meat. What I like to do is get rid of the white meat. It has very little flavor. So what does I do? To just go up, and there's the pith gone. I'm going to do the same for this. Simple cut. Always be careful. Okay, there's the pith, and see how it just comes right out?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I want to do the same here. Right through. And Joan, what I'm going to do after is you can wash these just to get all the all the seeds out. And again, final cut here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just slice these up into thin slices. Is the pasta ready to be strained? All right, let me grab that because that's heavy and hot.
Here's another pot.
Okay, what we're going to do is okay, you shut it off. Beautiful. It's in the strainer.
Careful.
Shake it out a little bit. Get some of that water. Now the key is, let's see how many pieces I drop. Ready? See how many pieces I drop. How many pieces can I drop?
Oh, no, you did a good job.
Wow, I'm a professional
And then
today.
if you'd like to, Jay, put it over here, I could show how we...
Yep, very good.
We add the butter and...
Okay, so what we're going to do is keep it right there. And Joan, to your
great.
point, 2 ingredients are going to go in there. Very simple. Butter and pepper. Very good,
yeah.
very good, very good.
This is another B, isn't it, the butter?
Butter, you're right. There you go.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is just give a quick wash.
Jay, how much butter we put in? Half a stick?
Half a stick.
Okay.
You got it. All right, Joan, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up with the vegetables. So we already put the water chestnuts in, and we're going to put the heat on medium. Let's just make sure it's going, which it is. I'll turn up a little bit. So what we're going to do is add our vegetables. Now our baby carrots in. Our baby corn. Now the B. We're going to add our bamboo shoots. And we're going to add our snow peas. And we're going to add our peppers. And you can see, it's already filling up very nicely. All right, so what we're going to do is going to turn the heat up a little bit and get going, and that's going to start to cook in no time flat. So we have the chicken kind of sitting there doing its thing. We have the pasta doing its thing, and now we're going to do the vegetables. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. What I'm going to do is just put the cover on, get a quick stir, and we'll put the cover on. Did you have a question about a little bit of town?
I know there was some excitement this morning.
There was. So actually today what we did as a community is we officially opened up the water park down in Livingston. So we have a beautiful water park for Livingston, and we also have a beautiful fitness center. And those were paid by the community. We call them CPA funds, or Community Preservation Act. And in town we have a, I'm just going to stir these a little bit. We have a Community Preservation Committee. So residents or anyone can come and say, hey, there's 4 different areas where we can actually spend those funds. We can do open space, recreation, affordable housing, or historical, where we have to use those allocated dollars in those 4 categories. So last time, it was actually a year ago this time in town meeting that we voted for, the town voted for the water park and the fitness center, and it is cool. So essentially, it's a nice water park with fountains. So the little kids go right in the middle of the water park, and they hit the button, and about 4 minutes, the water goes left and right, and there was already 2 kids down there enjoying it. That's going to be a big hit. I already say, Livingston was already a gem. Now this is going to add to the gem. We have a lot of gems in Tewksbury.
Jay, I think I saw it this morning. There's an app you can put on your phone for using the fitness part.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, they have about, I'd say, 20 stations down there. They have 20 stations down there, from pulling bars to doing sit-ups to doing curls to doing all kinds of crazy things. And each station, you can do it anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes based on your experience. And you can set up an app and kind of go through the entire fitness center. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
In the wintertime, what other special new feature do we have down there?
Well, this year was the first year that a bunch of residents and gentlemen in the town actually donated an ice skating park. So that was pretty cool too, where we actually used the tennis courts the folks volunteered their time and actually built an ice skating rink, and it was very, very cool. And that was a lot of use. Unfortunately, this year, we didn't get a lot of snow, and we were happy for that. But it was a little bit mild, but we got a lot of use out of that. Again, the lovely residents in town donating their time, energy, and effort to create that ice skating rink. It was pretty cool.
So I think Tewksbury is a pretty cool town.
Well, I always say the sun always shines in Tewksbury. See how these are coming up nice and neat? And again, no pepper or salt. A lot of folks say maybe pepper or salt, but really none needed. We're gonna put the cover on it probably 1 more minute and they're gonna be good. And then our final piece would be add the broccoli and the bean sprouts. And the reason why I save those for last is they don't take too much time to cook. You know what I mean? You kind of want those a little bit hotter than these vegetables. You can see in no time at all, the vegetables take on that soft texture. So we're almost there.
You use the teriyaki this time, but sometimes you do use oil, right?
Yeah, we use
sometimes.
Exactly, oil and teriyaki. I wanted to be careful with the oil. We didn't, right.
One thing you need to be sure is to drain, make sure the vegetables are dry after you rinse them.
The vegetables are dry. Why? Oil and water does not mix. Does not mix.
Not a good combination.
And especially on high heat, right? Not good company. So we use a little bit of oil and then we use the teriyaki just to substitute, that's all. So I think we're good. As you can see, it cooks up in no time.
Beautiful.
Cooks up in no time, and the veggies get soft. And again, I'm trying to go for a little bit hotter veggies so they're not. So what I do is like to kind of push the veggies over a little bit, and they're cooking nice and neat for another 2 more minutes. So now why don't we add, Joan, we're going to add the broccoli. We're going to fill this pan up in no time. And last but not least, final ingredients, another bean sprouts. And you can almost see, you don't even need to put the bean sprouts over to direct heat because, directly on the pan, is because they're going to cook up.
They'll steam. They'll steam in it.
Exactly, they'll steam.
Yeah.
So that's going on nice and high. We have about another 2 minutes, and we're going to be good there. So we're in good shape. And again, this probably feed. This probably going to feed anywhere between 5 to 12 folks, and that's why I do it. I have a big family, so it's pretty cool.
Do you want to tell us while we're waiting for this a little bit more about yourself? And
Sure. I always say I'm originally from Lynn, so I'm very fortunate to have met my wife Mary, and we went from Lynn to Tewksbury. Nothing against Lynn, I love Lynn, but Tewksbury, like I said, the sun always shines in Tewksbury. So we have 5 lovely kids. We had 3 girls and 2 boys, and they're very involved. They have 1 left. 1 graduated high school this year. I have 1 left in high school, and they did everything from soccer to softball to basketball, so we've been very involved in the community in sports over the years. And my apron, and actually I volunteer for the Tewksbury, the football team. We actually cook burgers to raise money during the, I'm the assistant chef, and we cook burgers and hot dogs, and we try to raise a lot of money for the football team. And again, that's, so we're cooking.
Jay, can you see what my apron says?
It says, your lady ship. Your ladyship. What is that?
I got this in England. It's for ladies of high standing.
Very good, very good. Then that is very fitting, Joan. Very fitting. A little bit different than this one, but it's all the same, right? It does the trick.
It does, right.
It does the trick. All right, so we almost, and you can see the broccoli too. I'm gonna just do it just for the color. You can see even the broccoli, it gets very soft quick. You can see the color. It goes from a little darker green to a lighter green. You can almost see it's almost there. And even like I said, the bean sprouts, they don't have to be over direct cook, and they get very soft quickly. So we'll just do maybe a couple more turns. All right, I think she's almost there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add the chicken. I'm gonna dump the chicken right in. So I'm gonna just put the pan aside. And we're gonna dump the chicken right on top. Look at that, Joan. It's coming together, right?
Beautiful.
It's coming together. We're almost there. So we're just gonna lit it up and for 2 more minutes, and then we're good to go. What we're gonna do is let's plate the noodles. Whoa. And we're just gonna use that. Nice bed of noodles. And again, these happen to be the gluten-free. And again, noodles, you can use broad noodles or rice. It's all the same. Okay, we're good. Okay, very good. The folks at Bayberry are gonna eat very good today. We absolutely want to thank the folks at Bayberry, per usual, for allowing the Taste of Tewksbury to cook, and we'll get the thank yous after in a little bit. Okay, so a beautiful bed of noodles, and we're almost there again. This is the last shot. It's simply put, it's reheating up the chicken. So you see the steps. And I think, nice, and I think we are good to go. So I'm just gonna place this over there. I'm gonna shut the heat. We have all the heat off. And it's time to plate the final meal.
Did you ever cook in a restaurant?
No, just with a lovely family. My mother was a wonderful cook, and my family is wonderful, all cooks, so you kind of learn. And this one's easy. And I typically cook, my wife is an unbelievable cook. I like to cook on Saturdays and Sundays. Those are her days to say, hey Jay, it's your time to make some food. And this is, like I said, one of my favorites. And you can see, this is gonna feed a lot of folks, and it's always good to feed the family, and then throw the rest in the fridge, and then you got lunch, and you got dinner on the fly.
And if you have some people who are vegans, you just leave out the chicken?
Exactly, that
Or they
easy.
can not just eat the chicken, yeah.
That easy. And we talked about earlier too, it's stir fry. You can put whatever you want in
Yeah.
it, and it's all good. So at the end of the day, we have a lovely, lovely, lovely plate of stir-fried chicken. Noodles, stir-fried chicken, and remember, the bees, for all the different bees. So hopefully that was very easy, simple, and enjoyable. So I enjoyed this. Thank you, Joan.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Victor, who's the chef here at Bayberry, and I'd like him to tell us what is his favorite dish for himself and his family to prepare.
Favorite dish, sancocho, which is Dominican stew, and Spanish food is my favorite.
Ooh, sounds
Do you
good.
like spicy? The hotter the better, or no?
No, well, I do like it, but we don't cook with spicy.
Okay, but do you like it? Do you like it?
Yes, I love it.
That's Joan, the hotter the better, not me.
Yeah.
I'm a baby when it comes to
Yeah.
hot stuff.
And what do you find the residents enjoy?
Resident spaghetti and meatball.
Really?
Oh, they could eat that every day.
Do you like
If I
pizza?
let them.
Do you
Yes,
like pizza too?
Mac
Yeah.
and cheese, comfort food.
Yeah.
So they go the most. And my job is just make it healthy.
Well, do you have many people that have gluten in? They need gluten-free?
Only one person.
Okay. yeah.
Not a lot of allergies.
Yeah. And we so enjoy that you let us use this facility.
Anytime.
Yeah, we really do. And some month you're going to cook for us also.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Maybe you'll make that Dominican dish.
All right, sounds
That would be
good.
great.
Sounds
Yeah, I
good.
like that. So, and I'd also like to thank Donna, who should be over here with us. She's our producer, and she keeps us organized. She keeps us. What else would you say she does for us, Jay?
Everything.
Everything.
The producer, the everything. So we did plan, and Donna was wonderful. And I think, is this the 4th episode now? of
Yes,
Taste of
yeah,
Tewksbury?
yeah,
Let's keep
yeah,
it going. Wonderful.
yeah.
So she's been behind it.
And also, what about the guys?
Yep. Brian and Jason, unbelievable, always behind the cameras, do an unbelievable job for our community. What a beautiful addition to get these guys in. So
They are, they're wonderful. And
Thank you,
not
guys.
only this, but what else do they do besides?
They do the school. We have 3 channels now. We have the school, we have politics, and we have the community channel.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's awesome. So they're
Yeah.
always busy.
And we also want to remind you, you can catch us with Comcast Channel 8 and with Verizon Channel 32. And we would love to have suggestions from you for what you'd like us to do, you know, what kind of dishes you'd like us to prepare, who you'd like to see be a chef. And to get that information to us, Brian will put an email address on the screen, and you'll know how to reach out to him, and then he can reach out to us. So that would be, I think, a good plan. And thank you for watching us. We appreciate your viewing us. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Yeah. thank
Awesome.
you.